I would like to congratulate our friend and our student, Buchi. So, welcome, Buchi.
Guys, good morning for those in the US. Good afternoon for those in Africa. For those in India, good afternoon as well. My name is Buchi, and I came into Thinkcloudly out of the blues. I'm like non-IT background, though I have like engineering background and all of that. So I was working as an engineer, but time gets to me. I was tired of going in person to work every day, and as well as okay, COVID hits, and the next thing I would do is just like okay, everybody's working from home. But I was fortunate enough that I was not laid off, so I was still working, but now going into work every day while people were like in the house, relaxing, working from home. So I was just going through my phone on that fateful day, and I've I started knowing about learning about IT. I had a couple of friends that oh, Buchi man, you need to get into this space and all of that, but I did not really see who can really teach me or help me in that stage. Even sometimes I decide to like I want to do it on my own. I watch YouTube and it's not entering. I watch Udemy. It still did not work for me. Reason it did not work because I did not really have the background or the understanding of how to do it. So, browsing through every other platform that I could, I was seeing this high price and all of that. I was like, no, 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 no. Or if I enter I'll register, get into their webinar, and the way they speak, or I just will not get interest, or they did not hit the points. So I was going through my phone one fateful day. Nobody introduced me to Thinkcloudly. I was going through my phone one fateful day, and I saw Thinkcloudly like pop out. It popped out, and the caption was just like this platform that we're looking right now. So I immediately I was connected to the caption. I was like, oh wow, Thinkcloudly. I was like, okay, let me give it a try. So I just registered the way I normally registered with every other person, and boom, I had the call, from Nama. The first time we spoke, like the connection was there. We started speaking as friends, as if we've known each other for like plenty years. So I was like, oh, I think I should give this a try. So I registered. He talked to me about it. I was like, okay, definitely I'll give it a try. Since I'm free, there are things I can do and all of that. So then front and back, then he communicated with me like, oh, Buchi, what time would be the best time for you to join the class? Is it in the morning or in the afternoon? You see, at that point, I knew like, hey, I have to, because I've not had this opportunity for somebody to like be flexible with my time, and put me into consideration. So yeah, all of a sudden, boom, I entered the class. I registered and I started the class. The first time, AWS. I've heard about AWS before, but actually I've not. I don't know the process or how it goes or how it works. So I started the class, and we're going from IM to the introduction part and everything. So I was following the class step by step, step by step. So along the line in the class, Nama said, once you guys, if you get to um is it RDB, once you do your RDB, you should start applying for job. Immediately I was like, oh wow, RDB, then route 53, start applying for job. If you know that, start applying for job. I was like, okay, so I was just, with that, every day I go through the classes, I review it, and in my badge, I had a couple of my friends that we do it together. They call me like, hey, Buchi, can you help? And at first, when they say, can you help? I don't really know it well, but because I was able to follow the instruction and the videos, I was able to, help my friends as well. So after that, route 53, I just started creating a template resume and start applying. So I applied for several jobs. They keep calling me, but I will not get it. Apply for Bowen, apply for different kind of Apple and all of that. They did not call me. So I applied for Amazon. Then Amazon called me. The first one I applied for was was their cloud architecture. So they called me, they set me an interview. And the lady called me and she asked me, oh, so she just did the introduction and like, okay, so what is my goal? I was like, I don't understand. What do you mean, what is my goal? I was just saying it in my head. She was like, what do I want to be? In my long run, what do I want to be? Why did I choose AWS? Again, I was just thinking she was just like a recruiter, just trying to, know if I know stuff. I was like, oh, I choose AWS because it's my, the first, like AWS is like 90% of everybody's migrating into AWS cloud and all of that. She was like, okay, she now asked, why not Google or Azure? I was like, yeah, AWS is just my first point that I started up. At the end of that's where I started from. So it's kind of like a stepping stone for me. Then she just stopped me there. She was like, no company is going to want me to use them as a stepping stone to go into other company. Then that was when I now realized like, hey, this person is not ordinary. So I now checked back my email and now see that the email was actually coming from Amazon. Her name, then Amazon.com. I was like, wow, man, I just messed that up. So there was no way I could revive that part. Then that opportunity just lost. So I now like, okay, this is anytime I apply for any of this job, I had to put it down. So I applied again for Amazon. Then I got called. So this one I was really prepared. So I was really prepared. I started and I was prepared. Everything was set in my office and I was ready to do the interview. I've never done Amazon interview before. And it was going to be a 6 hours interview. You can imagine 6 hours interview. They just broke it down, but they did not tell me which part comes first, which part comes first. So the first part that came was, customer success and all of that. Man, I was never expecting that kind of interview. I was like, okay, it was asking me how, if a customer did this, how do I do that? I was like, man, I was thinking this is going to be about cloud and all of that. So I did that interview for 2 hours. I know I failed that interview. Then the next interview was technical interview, because I was discouraged for the first interview I did as customer management and all of that. I just bumped that, that interview. I was like, I could not, at the end of the day, I did not get that job. But see, again, I did not give up. Now I now know the scope on how to do it and how they do it. So I applied again for another Amazon position. And I now know the process of it. So I ran through the process, did everything. They were like, okay, they're going to get back to me. So on that same day, just to cut the long story short, on that same day I did Amazon interview, I had my present company, Samsung. I had an interview with them. If you are answering any question, if they ask you, which school are you going to, or which platform are you using, Thinkcloudly. Now, Thinkcloudly, start telling them the generation of how Thinkcloudly was formed. We introduced Thinkcloudly, everything about Thinkcloudly, so that if they ask about Thinkcloudly, because the next thing they will ask about Thinkcloudly is going to be what is your course schedule or something like that. If you give them, if you did not break this thing well for them, they will keep asking you questions. So try to kill like 5 minutes for one question. So I had my interview with, like 6 managers in the office, and I was like, oh my God. They asked me the first question, tell us about you. You have to have this conk, or we have to, coin this note about, because this is always the first question they tell you, like, tell me about you, introduce yourself. Now, go from your previous or any solution, anything you've done, start telling them about those things. Kill enough time. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep applying, but try to, focus on, don't go scattered. Just try to focus on, if it's AWS that we are in, do everything that has to do with AWS. Know it, Terraform, just go like that. Don't just, let's not just go scattered, because if at the end of the day, so many questions will be coming from different places, and when we are not, concentrated on one, that is going to, affect our journey. But, again, I got the job, like, it's mouth watering, they were giving me the offers. I was just I was just smiling. I could not hold it. I was like, this is a testimony. So, at the end of the day, I got the Amazon position, and now I'm going to be, be running the two show, by next month. So yeah, this is my journey, and I'm grateful to Thinkcloudly. I'm grateful to, Nama, and I'm grateful to my team. Thank you very much, guys, and I wish you guys all the best. Your testimony will also come as well. So waiting for that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.